I'm gonna do that after I ask my questions. Let's see if people coming. We don't give people time enough to come in. How are you feeling? Did you get you something to drink? You online? Yeah. Hi guys.
Oh Lord. There's like, oh,
yeah, wait.
Hello.
Do you need something to drink? You need to get you something to drink?
Oh no, I'm good right now.
You need to spray your throat. You good?
I'm good.
You got hair all over your eye.
I know. I'm tired, ain't you? What time we gonna go to the airport?
I looked it up. It's like 16 minutes from here.
Yeah.
So, but we don't have to be there till like 12. So I'd say like leave it like
Maybe
10.
an hour. Oh, okay.
Yeah, leave it
Hi
like
guys, how y'all doing? Guys, I'm getting ready to do a interview. This is a pajama jam interview. My daughter-in-law, Danielle, my glam baby, and my son, Xavier. They're leaving to go back to Germany in the morning. So we are sitting down doing a quick little interview. I have some questions that I'm going to ask them, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to ask them questions as well. They both are specialists in the U.S. Army. So my first question is, has it been hard for you to be in the military?
Just like in general? Or?
Yeah, in general. Has it been hard for you to be in the military?
No. The military is pretty straightforward. As any job goes, like, your boss tells you to do something, you're like, okay, go ahead and, go do it. It's part of your job.
Yeah. Is it strict?
Yeah, it's a lot more strict than, I'd say, compared to the civilian job.
It's more strict in the sense that, like, if somebody tells you to do something, you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But not as strict, like, on the civilian side. If you don't do something, civilian side, you might get fired instantly, but they can't do that in the Army. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What advice would you give to anyone thinking of going into the military? Danielle first.
Don't listen to the recruiters. Pick a job you want.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research.
Mm-hmm.
The recruiters will try to sell you anything
Mm-hmm.
to go into the military.
Baby.
I'd probably say go through your options. And like she said, pick what you want to do before you just say, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, kind of understand what you're sacrificing when you join the military.
Yeah.
It is a lot of sacrifice when you join the military.
Yes. If you're a very family oriented person, I probably wouldn't join the Army, because you're gonna be leaving a lot of people all the time.
Mm-hmm. My advice as a mother, being a parent of a child that is in the military, when your child goes into the military, it's not only their lives changing, but your life as a parent changes as well. When Xavier first went into the military, I was depressed. I was like, Lord, what is going to happen to my child? He's never been away from home before. You go 2 months without being to have any contact whatsoever with them. It was really hard. And then when he graduated from basic training, and I drove 14 hours to Oklahoma to see him graduate, and I didn't even recognize my own son because he had changed. Your children will change after going through basic training. My next question is, what is the one thing each of you can say that you've learned by being in the military?
You can sleep anywhere.
You can sleep anywhere?
You learn how to sleep anywhere. You learn how to sleep dead dirt on the ground. You learn how to sleep sideways on on some metal stuff.
What?
You learn how to use anything as a pillow.
Oh my gosh. What's the one thing you could say that you've definitely learned by being in the military, Xavier?
I mean, it's kind of like two things for me, but like how to pack. Like
how to pack.
You can pack anything. Like,
you can pack anything inside of a duffel. Like, they give you a packing list. You gotta fit it inside 2 bags.
Yeah. And probably like just going with like whatever happens. Like, you know, it's kind of hard to explain.
Not you don't have to generally like just follow things, like have a protocol to do things. You just do things on the whim. Yeah, you're like, able.
You like kind of quickly adapt to like
your surrounding.
Like what somebody's asking for you or asking from you.
Yeah, because the military, they can tell you, say, okay, tonight's Sunday night. Tomorrow you gotta wake up, go to PT and everything. They can tell you formation is at this
PT?
time.
Some people
physical training. You gotta wake up, go to physical training at like 6:30 in the morning. But like they'll sit there and tell you that information tonight before you go to bed, and then you'll wake up, go to PT or get ready for PT, and then you'll get a message saying PT is canceled. First formation is gonna be at 07 at such and such place. You learn how to be really flexible.
Yeah, flexible. Okay. So what are your future goals or aspirations for being in the military? Do you see yourself making a career out of it? Do you see yourselves just doing one more term, or you're indecisive at this moment?
I can see myself doing another term, but that's only because of this is where I'm at right now. Mm-hmm. But whenever I first got in, I wanted to do 20 years, but a lot of people don't understand, like, whenever you decide, oh, you want to do 20 years and you haven't even been, like, experienced it yet, it's hard to stick to that. Mm-hmm. Because the Army is a military in general, it's constantly changing, so you got to take it day by day.
Mm-hmm. What would you say? Like, what do you think your future goals or aspirations would be as far as the military?
I mean, just like she said, you know, I joined and planning on doing the 20 years, but a lot has changed in the almost 3 years that we've been in. And we just kind of, like right now, we're just trying to adapt to the situation, like I said before, and see what our options are as far as what we can and can't do right now.
So as a married couple, is it harder for you being married than it was when you were single?
I mean, that's because you have married couples in the military all the time, but it just depends if they're dual military, not meaning both husband and wife are both currently serving, no matter what branch they are. And it's really, you have to take a lot of steps in order to set yourself up. And even then, like, say we were to PCS, it's not guaranteed we're going to go to the same place.
So it could be like a strain on someone's marriage. Say if you're single and you decide to get married like you guys did after joining the military, it's not guaranteed that you will both be at the same place.
Yeah, they have like rules or not rules, but you know, they have steps and stuff they try and take to help people get put in the same place, but not everything always works out. So that's like something people have to be prepared for, is that, you know, you can jump through 99 hoops, but that last hoop could be something, you know,
that you can't
control. And you know, whatever happens.
I mean, there's a regulation in place once you enroll into the proper programs, being dual military, that there's a regulation they can't keep you guys separated more than 100 miles away from each other, but that's still 100 miles.
Yeah.
You gotta commute back and forth and try to meet somewhere in the middle between both duty stations.
Right.
I think with like being dual military though.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a lot easier for us because, you know, even though like us right now, it's like best case scenario because, you know, we have the same job, but.
I was just going to say, explain to the people, what does dual military mean?
Dual military just means that we're both in the military. It doesn't specify any branch or anything.
Yeah, we're both currently serving.
Both serving in the United States military.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we're in the best case scenario. We have the same jobs. So like in our scenario, you know, we don't see each other most of the day, but we understand what each other does. Yeah. So, you know, when we go home, it's not like confusing to try and understand
what I did today. Yeah.
It's a lot easier for us.
Because y'all have the same job, so y'all don't have to say, well, I did this on my job, and she said, well, I did this on my job, because y'all both had the same job title.
We have the same hours-ish. So.
Yeah, so it's a lot harder for, per se, someone who's, from my perspective anyways, from someone who's married to a civilian, because 9 times out of 10 a civilian spouse won't necessarily understand what you're going through day by day.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10 the service member won't even go home and talk about what they've done at work.
Right. Yeah. So you would say it's a blessing.
That's from my perspective.
Yeah, it's your blessing. I mean, you feel like it's a blessing being that you guys are both in it together, because you understand. Yeah, you understand the military life. Whereas someone like me, if I was to marry somebody that was in the military, then it would probably be like a strain, because me being a civilian, I wouldn't understand what was going on with my husband in the military.
Yeah.
Correct?
There'd be like a lot of like mental like distance. Like you could be right there with that person all day, but they're not gonna be on the same mindset as you, because of like, you know, adapting constantly all day, every day.
Yeah.
Waiting for
it's an ever-changing game.
Anything could happen. So, you know, I would say that like if you ever did like have a like relationship with somebody that's in the military with you yourself not being in the military, to make sure you give that person like time to, you know, come adjust and like talk to you, because
and try to be really understanding.
It's like even with us being married, sometimes like we just can't talk to each other because we've had like such a bad day.
Right.
But we already have that like, you know, that love level where we understand like, hey, okay, he had a bad day, or she had a bad day. So, you know.
That's so sweet. Mommy got you good. Y'all ever taught my baby good?
Yeah, it's just, if like he said, if you're in a relationship with a service member, whether it be a male or a female, it's just try to be more understanding of their situation. If they don't want to talk, then, you know, don't be upset that they don't want to talk. You know, some days are harder. Some days are harder than others. It's just try to be understanding of his or her situation, because although the Army's not the Army, but like the military in general isn't what it's all used to be, it's still a lot of stuff you have to deal with on the day-to-day basis.
And one thing, guys, that my daughter-in-law and my son are gonna have to face, or they're dealing with, the fact that they live in Germany and the baby is going to be born in Germany. So my glam baby is going to have dual citizenship. So there is a lot of paperwork. There are a lot of things that they are going to have to do in order for the baby to be able to come to the United States. And they have to wait until the baby is 6 months old before they can even bring the baby from Germany. Correct?
They have to, I have to wait 180 days from the time the baby is born in order for me to have orders cut to PCS. So,
yeah. So do you guys want to tell everyone, all my followers know that I'm having a glam girl. I'm having a girl. Well, we're having a girl. So do you want to tell everyone the name that you guys have came up with? I don't know what it is. Do y'all want to tell? Do y'all want to tell them the name that y'all chosen for the baby?
I'm looking at you. You got it.
We chose Ariana Rose McClendon.
What is it?
It's Ariana Rose McClendon.
And why did y'all choose that name?
We're huge like Game of Thrones fans, and if anybody else watches, you know Arya Stark. So the way it's spelled is, what is it? A-Y?
Arya.
Yeah,
A-Y. A-R.
Yeah, A-R-Y-A. And we kind of like that, so we went with Ariana, like spelled as in the Arya Stark's, like, you know. And then she loved Rose, so we decided to use the middle name Rose.
Yeah.
And then of course McClendon. So.
Yeah. So they chose the names all by themselves. They didn't let me participate, and I'm alright with that too. You know, but you know, God willing, I will be going to Germany to assist my daughter-in-law, whatever I can, assisting my son and stuff. And we just wanted to stop by and come live and share with you guys just a little bit of their military experience. My son is 21, my daughter-in-law is 22, and we're having a baby. So, and I just wanted them to give their perspective to someone else that, you know, you may have children that are in the military, or, you know, children that may want to go in the military. We just wanted to come this evening to give our perspective, me as a parent, and, you know, them as being service members, our perspective. And again, me as a parent, it is difficult at times, and being that my son is in the military, I feel like, well, he's in the best hands because he's in the government hands, but then you also have to think about, you know, what if a war goes on and things of that nature. And being that my daughter-in-law is expecting, I've just been praying, Lord, please don't let no war break out. And it's hard on parents, you know, as well as them. I think about, you know, their mental state. My son has not been in the States for over 2.5 years. Well, neither has Danielle. They haven't been in the States, you know, in a while. And it has been, you hear them coughing and stuff. It has been like an adjustment for them, their bodies, you know, the environment, a lot. And they chose to go in the military to serve our country. That was something that they chose to do on their own. And yes, they love it. But as you heard from their own words, that just like with any job, anything that you do, it is ups and downs. I guess, yeah. It has its ups and downs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It is.
So would you say that in the 3 years that you guys have been in the military, do you feel that it's been worth it thus far? The benefits, I mean,
it's been
just
interesting.
the experience. You know, you've gotten to travel different countries and stuff like that.
But yeah, I mean, we've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the amount of a span of 3
about
years.
ourselves, each other, like the world, you know. It's
about how other people are, like, how to, like, kind of, like, react to certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, whenever you go from living with your parents and someone providing for you to being thrown straight into, like, you're independent, take care of your own.
Yeah.
and make sure all your stuff is paid. If it's not, then you know you're gonna get in trouble for this.
Yeah, somebody's gonna come and take it from
you. Somebody's gonna come and dog you for it.
Yeah.
So, the military makes you really become an actual independent adult really fast. Yeah, within a span of like 5 months. If you come straight from living with your parents and being provided for. So it's a lot of change. That's why
it's an adjustment.
Whenever you said you don't recognize your children after basic and AIT, it's because they want you, they train you to be more independent and make sure you're aware of your complete surroundings. They kind of
put you in your worst and then like build you up from there.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, Xavier had lost so much weight, I did not recognize him. And I just broke down crying because I was like, oh my God.
Oh, he like just 40 pounds.
He just stepped out and he has this little wave that he does to me, and I just broke down crying. I said, "Oh my God, that's my baby." I said, "They not feeding my baby. You need some red beans and rice and stuff." And when I tell you, he was just a totally different person. And even with him being home now, and I told him, I said, I feel like I don't know him anymore because we were best friends. You know, before he went into the Army, wherever I went, he was there, and so we still are best friends. But I know that the military life has changed him. He is a man. He's a very responsible young man, and I thank God for that. But he's changed a lot. And then even last year, when I went to Germany and meeting Danielle, I was just telling her how she's changed. I said, "Oh, my baby, she has changed." You know, it does. The military, I would say, changes your children. And I would just say, you know, try to keep up with them. You know, if you can, always give them positive encouragement, because there's only so much that they can tell you about what's going on with them in the military, and you have to try to be patient and understanding and prayed up. That's the one thing that kept me afloat, just, you know, in constant prayer. And yeah, but it's been hard, but I'm proud of them. Like I said, both of them are specialists in the Army, and they're doing great. I couldn't be more proud of them. So yeah, bless y'all. Oh, y'all got colds. Do y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask them while we're on here live? Let me see. Thank you, everybody that joined us. Hi, Kiana. Nobody have any questions? Okay, guys, well, we were just stopping by this evening to talk. We having us a pajama jam session. Like I said, my daughter-in-law Danielle and my son Xavier, they will be leaving, going back to Germany tomorrow. And I would like to ask you guys for your prayers for traveling grace and mercy to be upon them, and for my glam baby to be okay and safe. And we are so excited to welcome our new bundle of joy into the world. So you guys don't have any questions. I don't see any popping up. We're going to say good evening. I hope you guys have a great week. Remember to always be careful, be safe, but most important, just be you. Y'all want to say anything?
Be safe.
Be safe. Y'all heard of
these? Don't do drugs, eat tacos.
Look, she said don't eat drugs, eat tacos. Okay, guys. Bye. We're out.